I'm a doctor and a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of color. I create formulas specifically for black skin. So when I look at a product, I'm not just reading what's on the label. I'm analyzing what's in the bottle, what's missing, the concentrations, the packaging, whether the formula is safe enough for reactive black skin, and whether it will realistically do what it claims. I investigated every major black-owned skincare brand currently selling in America. These are Topicals, Eadem, Hyperskin, Bolden, 54 Thrones, and Rosen. For each brand, I'm giving you their top 3 products, what's in them, what's missing, whether the price is justified, and a rating out of 10. Save this video for next time you go shopping and send it to a friend. This is a formulator's point of view. And before we start, I want to say this clearly. Every brand on this list was built by Black founders who identified a gap that mainstream beauty ignored for decades. The fact that this category exists at all in 2026 is because of them. So even where I'm critical of a specific formulation, that work still matters. And these founders deserve respect for what they're doing. So the rating criteria, I'm looking at 6 things on every product. First are key actives. What's actually in the formula, at what concentrations, and why black skin specifically benefits from them. The second are the tyrosinase inhibitors. Tyrosinase is the enzyme that produces melanin. Black skin has more reactive melanocytes, the cells producing the pigment melanin, which is why we need tyrosinase inhibitors in the formula. So in my professional opinion, every leave-on product targeting black skin should slow tyrosinase to even out pigmentation. This means you want to look for ingredients like licorice root extract, kojic dipalmitate, tranexamic acid, vitamin C, alpha-arbutin, and niacinamide. Niacinamide works slightly differently, but it does the same thing. If a leave-on product claims to be for black skin and doesn't address melanin production, it's missing the whole point. The third is it has to be NAF safe. This means no denatured alcohol, no fragrance, and no essential oils. Black skin have higher rates of contact dermatitis. Contact dermatitis causes inflammation. Inflammation on black skin leads to pigmentation. NAF safe isn't optional for reactive skin, it's non-negotiable. The fourth is packaging. Antioxidants, peptides, vitamin C, they degrade with light and oxygen. They need to be in an airless pump or in opaque tubes. And I don't recommend jars for any product containing water. You're dipping your fingers in, bacteria gets in. The preservative system is fighting a losing battle from day one. Jars are fine for anhydrous body butters, but they are not fine for serums, creams, or moisturizers. The fifth is price. Is what's in the bottle worth what you're paying for it? And the sixth is, does it actually work on black skin? Because that's the only skin that matters in this video. Brand 1 is Topicals, the most culturally significant black-owned skincare brand in America right now. Before I start, take an important note. Topicals sells faded in 2 versions, a regular scented version and an unscented version. That difference matters enormously for black skin, and almost nobody talks about it. My favorite is, of course, faded, the unscented version. This formula contains niacinamide in the low to mid 3% range. It contains tranexamic acid around 2 to 3%. It contains alpha-arbutin, kojic acid dipalmitate, and a solid glycerin base. There are additional ingredients like glutathione, azelaic acid, licorice extract, and melatonin, but they're present at token levels. You can see them on the label, but they're not doing meaningful work in this formula. Now, a quick formulator note. Kojic acid dipalmitate is a more stable derivative of kojic acid, but it's less potent. However, it's my preferred form for skin of color, which is why that's the only thing I use in my products. Topicals here chose stability over strength, and that's a defensible choice. From a pigmentation standpoint, this is a multi-path formula. Niacinamide blocks pigment transfer from the melanocyte to the surrounding skin cells, which is why you don't see the pigmentation on the surface. Tranexamic acid interrupts the inflammation pathway. Alpha-arbutin suppresses the melanin production, so it's a tyrosinase inhibitor. I love it. It's one of my favorite for skin of color. And kojic dipalmitate does a similar thing too. That's a good formula. It also passes the NAF safe check. There's no fragrance, no essential oils, or denatured alcohol. The packaging is, however, in a tube. It's adequate, but I would have preferred this in an airless pump. The price is $38. So it is on the more expensive side, but I think it's worth it. Does it work? Yes. This is a well-formulated product with a well-chosen active stack. I would give this product a rating of 8.5 out of 10. However, the regular faded scented version have the same actives formulated, but with one critical difference. This version contains ethylene brassylate. This is a synthetic musk added during reformulation to stabilize the scent. By every formulator standard, this is a fragrance ingredient. And fragrance is one of the most common triggers of contact dermatitis in melanin-rich skin. Contact dermatitis causes inflammation, inflammation causes hyperpigmentation. So the very product designed to fade the dark spots could be triggering the next one. Buy the unscented version, same actives, none of the fragrance risk. If I had to rate the regular version, I give it 6.5 out of 10 purely because of the fragrance compound. Moving on to the Slick Salve Lip Balm. This is a standard emollient lip balm. It's got castor oil, shea butter, vitamin E. Unfortunately, there are no tyrosinase inhibitors in this formula and there's no SPF 50, which is key because the first part of the body to tan are the lips. Black lips hyperpigment from sun exposure and chronic inflammation. A lip product targeting black skin should contain an SPF 30 minimum or pigment modulating actives. This doesn't. At $16, Aquaphor does the same job as this. For this product, I'd rate it a 5 out of 10. It wasn't really made with black skin in mind. For topicals overall, the Faded Unscented is the hero, and the Slick Salve misses the brief entirely. Topicals as a brand understands black skin better than most when you buy the right SKU. The next brand is Eadem. This is the quietest cult following on the list, but also one of the smartest single product brands in the black-owned space. Starting off with the Milk Marvel Dark Spot Serum. This formula uses niacinamide just under 3%, a strong glycerin base, and 2 forms of very gentle vitamin C, including 3-O-ethyl-ascorbic acid. I love this form of vitamin C for skin of color because it's non-irritating. I want you to look at your vitamin C packaging and just ensure you're not using L-ascorbic acid, pure vitamin C on black skin, because it's very irritating. It's got a low pH, and if you're doing that daily, it's almost like you're chemically exfoliating the skin on a daily basis. Yes, you get that glow, but underlying it, you are irritating your melanocytes. So when you stop, hyperpigmentation tends to come back worse. You also get more pigment deposited in the skin because of a fake tan effect that happens from L-ascorbic acid degrading. So you get anti-inflammatory effects from the magnolia bark. You get enzymatic exfoliation from pineapple and papaya. However, if you have sensitive skin, this could irritate you. And it's got a phytosterol system that supports the barrier, which I love. On pigmentation, this is a softer pathway for brightening. It's got niacinamide and the 2 vitamin C derivative extracts. It does have licorice root, but it's at a lower dose. That's legitimate, especially for reactive black skin. Just understand what you're buying. This is gentle, it's not aggressive. I love the fact this formula is NAF safe. It truly is fragrance free. The packaging, however, is in a dropper. It's adequate, but I really would have preferred this in an airless pump in order to ensure that the vitamin C is actually stable by the time it hits your face. The price is $48. It works, but it's slow and safe. I would rate this an 8 out of 10. It would go up if it was in airless packaging and if some of the actives such as licorice root extract were a higher percentage. Moving on to their Cloud Cushion Plush Moisturizer. This is a genuinely good barrier chemistry. High glycerin, niacinamide, a full ceramide cholesterol fatty acid system, peptides, and adenosine. It also has a very interesting ingredient called tremella mushroom, which actually outperforms hyaluronic acid in water retention. For black skin, where you have higher transepidermal water loss, i.e. more water evaporation from the skin, that matters. The tyrosinase inhibition is modest but present. The NAF safe check is borderline. There's no synthetic fragrance, but botanical aromatic extracts remain. The real problem is, again, packaging. This is a water-based peptide-containing formula in a finger dip glass jar. At $58, that's a chemistry undermining decision. When fresh, it works beautifully. So I give this a 7 out of 10. It would be an 8.5 if it was in an airless pump. Moving on to the Smooth Slate Ingrown Hair Serum. This product targets a serious black skin specific issue: razor bumps and post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. The actives are real. Lactic acid and mandelic acid, both large molecular weight AHAs, which are very safe for skin of color. They also add in azelaic acid, another safe acid for reactive inflamed skin. But then we hit the problem. This formula contains a heavy essential oil blend, including bergamot and lime peel oils. Both are phototoxic. Phototoxic toxic oils plus melanin-rich skin plus sun exposure equals pigmentation risk. In my professional opinion, this directly contradicts Eadem's melanin-sensitive positioning. The actives work, but the essential oils disqualify it for many black skins. I would give this product a 5.5 out of 10. So for Eadem overall, Milk Marvel is the hero. Cloud Cushion is good chemistry, trapped in bad packaging. The Smooth Slate, however, has a real essential oil issue. Same brand, same audience, but quite inconsistent. Brand 3 is Hyper Skin. Best known for their brightening serum, their reputation is earned. Hyper Clear Brightening Serum uses 3-O-ethyl acid, one of my favorite forms of vitamin C for skin of color, at a high enough position to genuinely support the brand's claimed of vitamin strength. They're not just putting it in for marketing, it's at the therapeutic index. You also get 1% kojic acid, plus arbutin-rich berberry and licorice, one of my favorite forms of tyrosinase inhibitor. This is the strongest tyrosinase inhibitor stack so far in this video. The antioxidant network is decent, though again missing ferulic acid. The NAFE safe check is borderline. It's not fragrance, but basil extract contributes to the natural aroma. Most black skin will tolerate this, but highly reactive skin should do a patch test first. For $36, this product works, and it works well. I'd rate this an 8 out of 10. Moving on to Hyper Even Cleansing Gel. It's got gentle surfactants, minimal exfoliation, brightening claims that overpromise in a rinse-off format. The issue in this formula is grapefruit peel oil, a potentially phototoxic essential oil in a product targeting pigmentation and melanin-rich skin. Even though it's in a rinse-off, it really shouldn't be there at all. It's an acceptable cleanser, but not ideal for black skin. I would give it a 5 out of 10. Moving on to Hyper Daily SPF 50. This is a chemical sunscreen. The problem with chemical sunscreens in black skin is that it can increase inflammation, and inflammation causes pigmentation in skin of color. This is why I tend to prefer a mineral sunscreen for skin of color. The reason is that zinc oxide is anti-inflammatory. So imagine all day long you've got this layer of anti-inflammatory soothing effect on the skin. This is what you want to opt for. Unfortunately, mineral sunscreens do tend to leave a white cast on black skin, and so I've made a full video for you on mineral sunscreens for black skin with no white cast. The other downside of mineral sunscreens is that they tend to be more expensive because zinc oxide is an expensive ingredient. Unfortunately, they also added in clove extract and fragrance compound. As an SPF, it functions. As an SPF for black skin, it's less than ideal. I'd give this a 4 out of 10. Hyper Skin overall. Hyper Clear is excellent. Everything else ranges from okay to unsuitable. Brand 4 is Bolden. It's widely accessible. Target has stocked it. Well done, Target. So this is important for representation for melanin-rich skin. Their SPF 30 Brightening Moisturizer. This has a very high chemical filter load, homosalate at 15%. Scientifically, homosalate at this level raises legitimate concerns, including potential hormone disruption. For black skin, the inflammation risk alone is enough for me to tell you to go more for a mineral sunscreen. As a moisturizer, it's fine. As an SPF for black skin, it's not one that I'd recommend. I would rate this a 4 out of 10. Their Dark Spot Fix Serum. This is a Bolden's sleeper hit. 4% tranexamic acid, 4% niacinamide, arbutin, kojic, azelaic, plus they added in tetrapeptide. This is a clinically dosed brightening product at $24. It's stronger on tranexamic acid than Topicals Faded at half the price. This is an excellent product, and I rate it an 8.5 out of 10. Moving on to their skin brightening toner. 10% glycolic acid in a daily use toner is too aggressive for black skin. I think there's this common misconception that black skin is tougher and it can handle more, but that's just not the case. Skin of color have got large melanocytes. Those are cells producing the pigment melanin, and they are easily triggered. I always tell you on this YouTube channel, one scratch, one bite, or one burn, and you hyperpigment. This does not happen to Caucasian skin. You actually have to be more careful, use safer forms of vitamin C, safer acids than you can use on Caucasian skin. Even when it comes to a chemical peel, you can't just use what's on the market, because majority of what's on the market was made for Caucasian skin. It's too aggressive. It's going to lead to PIH, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation in black skin. So it's something you really need to be careful of. Glycolic acid is one of those ingredients. It's the most popular AHA on the market, but it's just not suitable for skin of color. It's one that I would tell you to sidestep, and certainly not on the face, and certainly not on a daily basis. I would unfortunately rate this product at 4 out out of 10. From Bolden overall, the dark spot fix is the buy. Skip the SPF and the toner. Brand 5 is 54 Thrones. Here we're talking about anhydrous body care, meaning there's no water in the formula. It's a different category, so it plays by different rules. Starting off with the African Beauty Butter, vanilla and honey. It uses unrefined Ghanaian shea plus Ugandan shea nilotica. It's anti-inflammatory, barrier sealing, soft natural SPF 50, not enough to be protective, but it supports the skin. It's an anhydrous formula, so jar packaging is appropriate here. This is one of the best body products available in the US right now for black skin. The only downside of this is probably the fragrance, so I'd rate this an 8.5 out of 10. Moving on to their scented beauty butters. The same excellent base, but these are loaded with essential oils. If your skin tolerates them, fine. But if you're reactive, if you're eczema prone, or you hyperpigment easily, avoid. I'd rate this particular product a 6 out of 10. Moving on to the next brand, Rosen. Tropics Toner. It's a clean, gentle, enzymatic exfoliation, low-dose kojic acid, hydration support. It doesn't overpromise, and that's why it works. 7.5 out of 10. Moving on to Tidal Toner. It's got sea salts, mulberry, niacinamide. It's quiet but real brightening support. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. The Gold Tides Toner. Oh, this has got lemon peel and tea tree oil. These are phototoxic and sensitizing. This one's a hard no, 4 out of 10. Rosen overall, one of the most consistent and affordable black-owned lines available, so I'd buy the Tropics or Tidal. Skip the Gold Tides. These are my favorites from all of the black-owned brands. Don't forget, I'm in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every YouTube video. So when you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm here, so you can come and ask me your questions. Write down below which video you want me to make next. See you next time. Love, Dr. V. Now you've finished this, you're gonna love this video.